Yo, it's your homeboy Kiyosaki in the building. Welcome to my review of Naruto chapter 695. Like most of my reviews, I'm going to do a review first and then a more detailed discussion afterwards. The review will be spoiler free, but the discussion most likely will not. So for me, this was a good chapter, but nothing extraordinary. In fact, it's closer to an average chapter of Naruto than anything else, really. This is the standard of Naruto that I expect from Kishimoto. So, and nothing really beyond that. So I would say it was an average chapter of Naruto. Um, yeah, just an average chapter of Naruto. I think most of you will agree with me if you're like a sane person and not a fanboy or a fantard or a retard or nothing. But yeah, it was a really average chapter of Naruto. Uh, and bear in mind this isn't the end of the fight. This is just the beginning, and that is to be expected. Well, not necessarily. Sometimes a fight can have a really crazy beginning, and yeah. Uh, this fight is mainly just a bunch of clashes, and well, I don't want to go further into the fight because I'll technically be spoiling it. But yeah, for me, it was just an average chapter of Naruto. Slightly above average because of the stakes, but for the most part, I wasn't too impressed. And yeah, that's it. That's my review. So now I'm gonna move into the discussion. So why wasn't I impressed with this chapter? Why isn't this the greatest chapter of all time? Well, the answer is simple. By Naruto standards, I've seen a lot better. And the clashes are stuff that we see all the time, against pretty much every opponent, and it's something you sort of see coming. You know what I'm saying? So it was basically Susanoo and Ninetales clashing a bunch of times throughout the chapter, at least twice, and there was nice moments of ingenuity in the beginning, but it was that was the problem, was just one moment, and that's really what makes fights in Naruto really sweet for me, are the moments of ingenuity and the taijutsu, and obviously the regular jutsus too. But yeah, it's mainly the regular stuff as opposed to just who has the bigger Rasengan or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Is the main neutral game and the mind games in the fighting. That's what really attracts me to most of the fights in Naruto. Now some fights don't necessarily have that, but they're still badass. But for the most part, that's how I sort of dig it. And I guess that's just my taste, or I guess at the end of the day. But this fight lacked all of that shit. It was just like I said, a few clashes, nothing too crazy. But I will admit one of the clashes was pretty epic, which was the fist punch. They sort of punch each other, and well, they didn't hit each other, just like clashed fists, and that was there was like a sort of tsunami from both sides, and that was pretty crazy. I mean, it wasn't too mind blowing, but it was a really nice panel, really iconic, really sweet. Or Kishi did that pretty well. There was talking of the chapter, but some people are gonna hate on it. But I think that the talking was done pretty well. In fact, I think Kishi did it perfectly because you expect talking to happen between characters with so much history. Like you're not gonna fight your best friend and just keep quiet. You're gonna try and convince your best friend to see your reasoning, and so that both of you stop the fight. And so we can expect even more dialogue from Sasuke and Naruto. Pretty much till the end of the series, or until the end of this fight, at the very least. And it really wasn't too much. Most of this chapter was, in fact, the action. The problem was, because it's big panels, it really doesn't amount to that much at the end of the day. And it was mainly just, yeah, basically, like there'll be a clash, and then you have a few. That's gonna be a big panel, and the remaining panels around it are gonna be sort of describing that specific clash. And then the next panel, you might just see Sasuke's face and Naruto's face. But overall, yeah, not much did happen in this chapter. It was just like two clashes, and like I said, that moments of ingenuity in the beginning when Sasuke used the cartoon to distract Naruto. I like that. It wasn't the mind blowing or nothing, but it was still nice. Regardless, like that's what I like. I like the sort of ninja versus ninja thing when you try and outsmart the other ninja, not just running at each other like gladiators. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, this was an okay chapter of Naruto. Nothing special, nothing extraordinary. I'm on the lookout for all the like Narutards and the fake people who are gonna make shit up and blow this out of proportion. Because at least in my opinion, it was okay at best. It was okay. You could say above average because I mean, it is the great fight, and you might be that more excited for the stuff that happens in the chapter. But for the most part, it's not the greatest chapter of all time or nothing like that. And that's my main point about this chapter. That's all I have to say really. Thank you for chilling all the way to the end. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, thank you guys for watching.